Hi guys, welcome to my channel Music and Tech again. This is Kevin. So today we're going to talk about audio effects in Ableton. So in my last video I have shown you how to create an instrument. So the instrument that we used in my last video, which you can see in the link below, is using an analog instrument, and then I used it to create a warmpads instrument. So today we're going to add on. So if you would see, this is the instrument that we have created. It's an analog instrument. We have made adjustments to make it sound like this. So now it doesn't like sound. It doesn't sound like a pad because we haven't added the audio effects that we would apply. So, but before we do that, we have to. Okay, if you would see here, there are a lot of audio effects that you can use. But what I would do is I would first grab an audio effect rack. So what is this? So meaning to say, I would drag different types of audio effects here so that it would be jumbled up or compiled together in one. It's like a one folder. Okay, so if I switch off this, all of the effects that I would apply would be switched off. Unlike if you put one by one the audio effects, you have to switch off manually one by one the effects before you can do for all. But if you put everything here in one group, once I switch this off, everything is off. Okay, so the first audio effect that we're going to talk about is compressor. So I would drag my compressor here. Okay, so with this compressor added, this is how it sounds like. Okay, still doesn't sound like a pad. Okay, so what is a compressor? Compressor is a device that affects the dynamic range of a signal by bringing down the level of the loudest parts, making the loud and quiet parts closer together in volume, ultimately yielding volume differences that are less obvious. So yeah, so you're going to bring down the loudest parts, and then the softest parts you're bringing it up so that it would blend in and it would sound nicer. Okay, so let's talk about how to adjust this thing. Let me adjust them first. So I would put the ratio as it is in default value. Attack the same at 2 milliseconds. This one is still default, and then I would bring it down to minus 16.8 decibels. Okay, okay, and then I would bring up my out to 0. Oh no, I don't need to change this. And then makeup is still at default value, peak, and then my dry wet is at 100%. So what is the functions of each? So attack is basically it engages the instrument, right? This knob would allow you to set how long it takes to reach the maximum compression. So the longer the time, then the longer the time it reaches the maximum compression. Then ratio is it is the compression between your input and output. So basically this is your input. That's why we have brought it down, and then we kept this output at the same range. So we try to blend it. So actually it's up to you, up to your preference, and try to listen when you're mixing a headphone, because it would you would hear the sound clearer, and you can adjust it with very good or fine-tuning adjustments. So if I play this, still doesn't sound like a pad. But as we add on some more audio effects, it would sound better. And then, so threshold is the input level. So because the sound is too loud, if you remove this right now, sorry, if I remove this, it would sound like this. So that's the raw sound. But if you put this on, then you can hear it's louder, but we have reduced the threshold value. It sets the input level at which the compression will start. And then release is actually the knob that says you how long it takes for the compression to stop after the signal has fallen below the threshold. So it means once my value goes down here, once my input goes down, it would take 50 milliseconds before the compression would stop. Yeah, and then dry wet is something that how much of the adjustments will be applied to here. So for here, it is at the most or at the wettest setting. Then if you put the 0, everything that you have adjusted here will not apply here. So that's why we adjusted it to 100% because we wish everything that we have set here to apply here and make an impact to the sound that we're producing. Okay, and then of course you have out this knob, basically this slider is the amount of gain applied to the signal after compression. So you have compressed it here, then how it sounds like it will come out here, and then it would apply the amount of gain. So meaning if I increase this, it would be louder. Yeah, sorry for the sound. It's too loud. So if I reduce it instead, it would sound lesser. But since I set it to 0, which is the default value, I can just type it in. Then, so again, compression, you will compress here, then it will go out, and how much gain you're going to put it would be this slider. Okay, yeah, and then auto, you can see the auto here. I have switched it off because if this option is engaged, the attack and release times are automatically adjusted based on the incoming audio signal, which I don't want. Okay. But if you try, because I'm using a MacBook keys, I'm using the keys on my MacBook. And you cannot really hear the difference. But if you're going to play it on your digital piano, you're using the digital piano as a MIDI controller, I think it will be more obvious. Okay, I think that's about it for this compression. So I hope that you learned something today. So if you do, please click like. And then if you want to see my other videos, please click subscribe. Again, thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.